The past few years haven't been great for the Toys to Life genre, so when Ubisoft announced they would be joining the Toys to Life craze at E3 2017 with Starlink Battle for Atlas, I couldn't help but think they were a bit late. Although that statement still rings true today, Ubisoft's first foray into the once popular genre may have just stirred the pot enough to get people talking about Toys to Life once again. The story of Starlink Battle for Atlas is simple. There is a bad alien named Grax who wants to take control of the entire galaxy with the help of an alien robotic army known as the Legion, and needs a resource known as Nova. Your captain, Victor St. Grand, has created technology that can reproduce that resource, so naturally, Grax crashes into your mothership, the Equinox, and captures him. It is your job to get St. Grand back to the Equinox and stop Grax from whatever nefarious plan he has cooked up. The story, which took me around 13 or 14 hours to beat, is enjoyable, but it isn't anything you haven't seen before. You won't be floored or surprised with the storytelling by any means. What makes it enjoyable is the Starlink Initiative's crew. Each pilot is likable and has their own backstory that you can sympathize with. It never felt like one crew member was clearly singled out as the favorite. Each character gets their time in the limelight in some capacity. Where Starlink Battle for Atlas shines is its gameplay. The basics are pretty simple. You'll use both the left and right triggers to shoot your weapons, both thumbsticks to control your movement for both flight and ground modes, and the A button, for context I played on the Nintendo Switch, to perform quick dodges and boosts. If you've played any air combat game or third-person shooter, you'll pick it up pretty quickly. Speaking of the Nintendo Switch, one contributing factor for people wanting to play Starlink Battle for Atlas may be Fox McCloud and the Starfox fleet's inclusion in the Switch version. Fox and his crew play as much of a role in stopping the Legion threat as any of the crew members in the actual Starlink initiative. Some of the cutscenes will even feature the anthropomorphic crew interacting with the rest of the pilots like they were meant to be there. It does feel disjointed at times, but Ubisoft integrates the legendary crew into the game pretty well. Things get a bit more complex with the numerous systems attached to the various pilots, ships, and weapons you can use. Starlink Battle for Atlas has a surprising amount of depth, especially for a game aimed towards kids. The base stats your ships get are determined by its body. However, you can mix and match any set of wings with any ship. You can also place them in any position you want. So if you want to use a ship with an R-wing body but with a set of wings from the heavy Neptune ship and another from the Lance ship, you can totally do that. Furthering your ship's performance can be done with mods that you'll earn as you complete missions throughout your adventures. Each mod is categorized by a color indicating its power, and a type, giving you an idea of what kind of buffs you'll receive when using it. While the ships focus on your defenses and your maneuverability, your weapons dictate your attacks. Weapons are broken down into a few elemental types: heat, cold, gravity, stasis, and kinetic. These may vary from single-shot blasters to barrage missile launchers. Like your ships, you can use mods to enhance your weapons' abilities. You could choose whatever weapons you feel comfortable with, but it does make the game significantly easier if you do some experimenting with certain combinations that do a ton of damage. That initial discovery of executing that combo and then seeing your foe crumble instantly is so satisfying, and led me to diversify my playstyle. Not to say there aren't any challenging moments. There were plenty of times the Legion forces got the best of me. However, if you just switch your ship during combat, your health will instantly regenerate, making each encounter feel less meaningful. All of this is presented within the Atlas system, an open world waiting for you to explore. Starlink Battle for Atlas presents a beautiful set of planets, each with its own unique look. It really can be a beautiful game at times with its vibrant colors and interesting world designs, but playing on the Switch nullifies that notion. The overall look is just muddled with a short draw distance and less than stellar graphics. It does look better when your ship is on the ground, but those problems are still noticeable nonetheless. While you are able to freely explore the open world from the beginning, the first half of the game is fairly linear, pushing you to visit certain planets and teaching you everything you will need to know for the second half, which really opens up. This will include building up your alliance with the people of Atlas. You'll do this by either helping out an existing faction outpost or just building one yourself. There are 4 types of buildings: observatories, workshops, refineries, and armories. Each of these will provide a specific service that will aid you throughout your adventure, like earning Electrum, the currency of Atlas, or offering you more planet visibility. In order to start actually building, you'll need to defeat some of the Legion on a given planet. This will include imp hives, which give you a plot of land to build on, and destroying extractors and the colossal prime units to retrieve their cores to produce Nova to help upgrade your ship, build more outposts, or upgrade the Equinox. Later on, destroying primes will give you coordinates to the Legion's dreadnoughts, the ships that are deploying much of the evil faction's forces. Strengthening your alliances and defeating the Legion forces are what make up the gameplay loop. You'll go to a planet, which you'll be able to either fast travel to or fly seamlessly in and out of, beat up some bad guys, and build outposts to eradicate Atlas of the Legion for good. This loop does provide hours of gameplay if you want to rid the star system of the enemy threat, but it's incredibly repetitive. It seems a bit complicated at first, but the threats on each planet are the same, just higher in difficulty depending on where you go. This loop is also a grind that takes just enough time to be considered too long. You are constantly farming resources to increase or decrease some bar on your HUD. If there was a bit more variety with the loop, rather than just doing the same thing over and over again, it would be much more enjoyable. Starlink Battle for Atlas is a solid foundation if Ubisoft wants to make this into an ongoing franchise. Allowing you to play with or without the toys was a smart call, especially if you're playing on the Switch and don't want to bring a bunch of toys with you. The world and characters they've created are intriguing enough for me to want to see more of it. If there was just a bit more variety, Starlink would be a fantastic franchise for both kids and adults alike.